Since the mistrial was declared in the Christopher Schurr trial 2 weeks ago today, Target 8 investigator Ken Kolker has worked to talk to members of the jury, looking for their insights to learn more about what stood in the way of either a conviction or an acquittal. He spoke to one of the 12, and he has that story. Ken?
Sue, in an exchange of emails with Target 8, the juror wrote about race, about whether the case should have been retried, about the impact of Schurr taking the stand in his own defense, and about the main holdout who believed the former officer was guilty of second-degree murder. The main holdout who voted to convict, according to the juror we spoke to, was the jury foreperson, the only black on the jury. Schurr's defense team confirmed that. The foreperson, according to the juror we heard from, quote, claimed there was no way that they could see Schurr actually fearing for his life. The juror, one of 3 men on the panel, said it would not have made sense to retry Schurr as, quote, they're going to have a real tough time finding 12 people who would unanimously vote guilty in Kent County based on majority demographics alone. The 12-member jury was made up of 9 women and 3 men, with a racial breakdown of 10 whites, 1 Hispanic, and 1 black, the foreperson. The juror we spoke to did not want to be identified, did not want to go on camera, but we communicated through email. Ultimately, he wrote, I would like to avoid having my name or any personal information attached to this, as I'm not looking for that kind of exposure. The jury deliberated for about 21 hours over 4 days before announcing it could not reach a verdict. The prosecutor said the final vote was 10-2 for acquittal, but the defense attorney said it was 11-1. The juror we spoke to said it was either 11-1 or 10-2. Either way, it led the judge to declare a mistrial. Target 8 tried talking to other members of the jury. Some could not be reached, some declined comment, and others did not respond to a request for interviews. The death of Patrick Lyoya led to marches and protests and visits by civil rights leaders, including Al Sharpton. But the juror said race was not part of the deliberations. Quote, for what it's worth, he wrote, even with a diverse jury, the white-black narrative was never something that was even considered in our conversations. It was more about the training/policies than potential political tension. 3 members of the Grand Rapids Police Department, including 2 captains, testified that Schurr followed his training and his department policies.
One aspect of this case is the fact that a bullet hit Mr. Lyoya in the back of the head. Is there anything about the fact that it was a headshot like this that's unreasonable in a deadly force situation?
Unreasonable? No.
The juror also wrote that the testimony of Schurr helped sway some jurors.
So what did you do next?
I shot him.
Why?
I believed that if I hadn't done it at that time, I wasn't going to go home.
Now, the jurors said that they were so far from convicting on the murder charge that they barely even considered the lesser included charge of manslaughter.